Today I'm taking a look at the LORIIK LR68, which is a 65% gaming mechanical keyboard currently priced at around $65 US. On the front of the box there's an outline of how the keyboard looks like. At the back there's a few key highlights of the keyboard here. So it's a 65% layout, is hot swappable, comes with double shot PBT keycaps, has a 2200 mAh battery, and it works on Windows and Mac. As for what's included in the box, you get a user manual that comes in 5 different languages as you can see, and it includes a lot of information like the specs of the keyboard, the connection mode for the keyboard, the function key combinations on it, and a little bit more about it. You can pause the video if you want to read through all of it here. Besides that, you also get a black Type A to Type C cable to charge the keyboard or use it in wired mode, a 2-in-1 switch and keycap puller which feels pretty good, and of course the LR68 gaming keyboard here, and I have to admit it does look pretty good with these retro style keycaps. So the keyboard here comes with a really glossy and it's also a semi-transparent plastic case as you can see here. And on the top right you get the caps lock, Bluetooth and charging indicator lights. This is the side profile of the keyboard and there's only a little bit of elevation here, and you also can see the OEM profile keycaps included. This glossy plastic case carries onto the front and you do get a small LORIIK logo and name over here in the corner. The back looks like this and you do get the modes toggle switch here, the Type-C connection port, and the Mac and Windows mode changer as well. The bottom of the keyboard is not transparent, it's just a solid black plastic color and it catches fingerprints and stains pretty easily. You get 4 rubber feet here as well and the 2.4 GHz dongle here which has a dedicated slot for it, and it also connects magnetically. I think this is really nice. The RGB on this keyboard is pretty good, it's bright and saturated and it does illuminate the semi-transparent case. As you can see, it does shine through the sides of the keyboard and it does look pretty decent too. And there are already a few built-in RGB modes in the keyboard, so you can cycle through them through the function combination key. Alright, now moving on to the more technical parts of the keyboard. First off, I have to say I love the keycaps included here. They are double shot PBT OEM profile keycaps and the retro color scheme does look pretty decent on this keyboard. The legends on the keycaps are pretty sharp and they look accurate too, not like misalignments and stuff, and I would say the thickness is okay at around 1.2 millimeters for this double shot PBT. The LR68 also comes with Gateron switches included and you can pick from 4, which is the blue, the red, the yellow and the brown switch. And as you can see, I went with the Gateron yellow switches here. They are stock switches so they are not looped at all, but they do allow the RGB on the PCB to shine through nicely. And this north facing hot swap PCB here does support 3 and 5 pin switches. As for the stabilizers here, this keyboard comes with some pretty excellent plate mounted stabilizers. They do come already pre-looped and tuned from the factory, and from my testing they do not rattle and they sound really good out of the box. Now let's dive into the keyboard, so I'm going to disassemble it and we can see what's included inside. The keyboard is assembled by using clips to clip the bottom and the top together, so I'm going to pry it open one clip at a time. I'm just going to be using this prying tool here. When opening up a case like this, you do have to be careful because you can easily scratch up the glossy plastic used here. After fiddling around, the top can now be removed and there are a few screws here holding the plate onto the bottom of the case, and that's pretty easy to remove. And now the whole plate and PCB can be removed, and there is an additional 2 more screws here holding the plate and PCB together. This rectangle is actually the battery and it just mounts onto the PCB over here and it connects through this little wire. With all of the stuff removed, the plate and the PCB can now be separated easily. Okay, now let's go through everything included. The top frame is just this, and it's basically just a semi-translucent plastic here, and it just has a few clips and a spot for the indicator lights to shine through. The bottom of the case is this black plastic, and it comes with some foam as well to help dampen the sound, and it also houses the two little switches. Besides that, the plate comes with some pre-cut plate foam as well, and the plate itself is just a steel plate and it does not flex whatsoever. Here is the 5-pin hot swap north facing PCB, and one thing to note here is that the RGB LED units here are not flush and it does stick out from the PCB. So this PC only supports switches with this little cutout on the top so that it can fit on properly. As for the hot swap sockets at the back, I'm not sure what they are. They do not have any branding on them, but they do look like Gateron hot swap sockets to me. These two little things are actually the toggle switch, and they do break off very easily, so you have to be careful if you plan on opening up your keyboard. Alright, so that was everything included in the LORIIK LR68. Now moving on to the typing sound test to hear how it sounds. So overall, it's a pretty decent keyboard, and if you like how it looks with the wireless connectivity it provides, $65 is a pretty good price in my opinion. This is true especially when you count in the PBT keycaps, Gateron switches, pre-loop stabilizers, and the 4 mods already included. So if you're looking to buy the LORIIK LR68, links will be provided down below, and thanks to Banggood for sending over this keyboard for a review. And that wraps it up for this video guys. Leave a like on this video if you liked it, dislike this video if you didn't like it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Even more reviews coming very soon. And as always, thanks for watching. Goodbye guys.